Hello everyone. Welcome back to the series of SAP BODS. Till now you learned how you can read the data from a flat file, how you can write the data into a flat file using data services. What if you want to read the data from an Excel file, which means your Excel is now as a source. Remember one thing, you cannot write the data into an Excel file using data services. So first, let's create this structure of a file which is present on some share path. I have vendor master file present on my shared path. Let me call this file in BODS. In my formats, I go to Excel workbooks, right click, hit new. Let's give the format name as vendor master. Directory, the path where my file is present. You can even write a variable to do that. And I know you are now much more flexible with the variables concept. File name, let's choose a file. I have vendor master. Worksheet. In an Excel workbook, you have multiple sheets. You will choose from which sheet you want to read the data. As of now, I have selected sheet 2. By default, it appeared. If it doesn't appear, you can go and select it manually. All fields custom range. All fields means you are selecting all the fields present in your source file. Custom range means you are selecting only specific values. For example, from cell A1 to B1 or cell B1 to M17. Now, what is this? Let me show you my Excel file once. If I want to read the data, let's say from A4 cell to F25, I can specify this custom range over here by selecting custom range and specifying that. But as of now, I'm selecting the complete data from my Excel file. If you go and select number, in that case, you don't have to specify sheet 2. You just have to select the number and specify the numbers. BODS will automatically treat number 1 as a sheet 1 and so on. Use first row values as column values. If you select this, it means you are telling BODS that the first row is field, the columns. Click that. Click import schema. Okay, I have everything ready and by default every field is having data type as varchar with the size 255. Let's not do anything. Let's simply hit OK and call this in our workspace. I have my data flow ready. Let's call this vendor master. Let's see the data once. I have my records ready. Let's do 1:1 mapping and load the data into a template table. Let's validate and load the job. Okay, job is completed successfully. This is monitor log. Just click on that and see if the records have flowed or not. Row count 200, which means 200 records have flowed from my source to my target. I have my data over here. But what if I want to include the name of my file? Let me show you some options available. In your format, these are the same options that you saw while creating the structure. You go to source. These are some performance tuning options. Join rank cache. If cache is set to yes, then it means that process will now be executed on BODS cache. Skip all empty rows. If I deselect this, in that case, if my Excel file is having some blank rows, that will also be counted. But in order to avoid that, it's better to skip all the empty rows present in your Excel sheet. Log errors to file in case if you have some errors, how you want to handle the errors which are arriving from your Excel file, you can use the functionality of error handling. Then you have skip first. In real-time project scenarios, you won't be getting a simple Excel file. Rather, you would be getting an Excel file that will have some irrelevant information, some text descriptions, and you would have to ignore those descriptions. So how you can do that? At that time, you have to skip those rows. To achieve that, you'll utilize the functionality of skip first. As of now, I do not have any text description or any information available. Just for the understanding purpose, I'll be skipping some 180 rows because I have only 200 records. Just in order to show you the functionality of skip first. Read total, which means after skipping those records, how many records you want to read. You can specify that number in read total. Even you can use the functionality of a global variable as well to do this. I want to include the name of file also this time. So the file name column would appear something like this, and also I want to include the path where my file is present. So I have selected both. Let's go to our query and see. You have di file name option available. Right click, map to output. Now let's execute this job. Okay, the job is completed successfully. Let us see how many records it has read. Some 26 records. Let's see. I refresh it. 26 records it has read. You would be thinking, why it is not 20? Why 26 has come? Because when I showed you my file, I had some blank records as well. Let me show you the file again. As you can see, I have some 6 records which are blank. Now understand the functionality carefully. How did it processed? At the time of execution, it skipped 180 records out of total number of records. So the remaining records left over were 26 and it read those 26 records. And let me see if I have my path and the file name. Okay, I don't have that. Maybe it was because I didn't refresh it, and now I have my file name along with the complete path. So this is how you can read the data from a source Excel file. That's it for this session. In case if you have time, do join me in the next session. Thank you.